We're back with another episode of The Vault, the gaming podcast where we take some of the greatest games of all time and have a chat about them.
We are indeed. And today we are talking about gaming soundtracks that we haven't spoke about before.
The soundtrack to your gaming journey.
Your gaming experience.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some just songs and stuff that we like, I suppose.
Them things called songs?
Oh, there's, you know...
I'm intrigued to see what you've got on your list.
Some are probably just really, like, I don't know, predictable, I suppose. But there's one on there
Same.
that's one of my, like, favourite soundtracks. I don't think I ever talked about it before. So, yeah.
Okay.
Things to talk about.
Let's do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
To see who goes first.
Okay.
So we'll go bang, 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 go and reveal. So like 1, 2, 3, reveal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we both got scissors. Oh, okay. You got scissors. I got paper. So you go first. You won.
So I need to just have a look at my little book.
Okay. So actually, while we've done that little shit game, if you start talking about them and I've got the same, then we can talk about those together.
I've picked things that I don't think are on your list that would be on my list.
Okay.
So there's things on yours that I think would be on mine, but I've left them off this little list just because. So some I'm not going to talk that much about, but I'm just going to basically give a little blanket overview of them, I suppose. Should I just do one and then you go and...
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, Spyro 3 soundtrack is like...
Which one is
pure
this?
nostalgia for me. I love it.
I
like
love
all
it.
of it.
Which one is this?
No, it is...
Oh.
do. That one. So basically,
No, but
it's
what
the third
one
game.
is that? It's 2.
What? That's 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally have done 3 notes and you're like, that's 2? Like you already know.
Well, yeah, that
You're
is.
a big fan over there.
Well,
You're a big fan.
I am, but I'm one of these fans that's kind of like a rubbish fan at the same time because I just loved Spyro 3 at the time.
Yeah,
and
but
we
a
got
fan is
2
a fan
quite
though,
late.
isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, Spyro 3's main soundtrack. But yeah, Spyro 3's main soundtrack is just pure nostalgia for me, really. I can't, it's difficult because honestly, so many of the soundtracks in it are really, really great. Like, I can't
fault it.
No, I can't put I can't say there's a favourite one, but there's just so many of them where I'm like, I could listen to the whole thing over. And I liked what they did in Reignited Trilogy because they took the older soundtracks and then they made them like dynamic. So if you're like running around, then the soundtracks kind of sounds more like it used to, a bit more upbeat. Then when you just stand still, everything chills out and like some of the drums go away and it just plays like the main melody of some songs in the background. I think, just trying to think, Buzz's Dungeon theme tune.
Okay.
Amazing first boss fight because it's quite dark for a Spyro game. It's quite foreboding for like a boss fight really. Mm-hmm. So that's a really cool one. Midnight Mountain's really good, which is the last home world.
Right.
It's all like mysterious and plinky plonky, like that one.
Plinky plonky.
Yeah. I'm not good at describing soundtracks, so I'm just trying to...
This is going to be a really good episode then.
Look, I'm trying to... No, I've got some better things like lined up, I hope.
Okay.
But I just wanted to mention this one because it is very dear to me. But
that's good.
So, I just wanted to bring that one up, really.
No, I didn't think that you would say that one, actually.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I do like 1 and 2s. But yeah, okay. I think 3 mostly because...
Shall we do then the less obvious ones and then we'll do the more obvious ones towards the end?
Sure.
Okay. So, is it my go now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Go wild.
I'll go wild in the house. So, I'll go old then.
Okay.
So, one of my favourite ones... these are our favourite ones, aren't they, really? So, it's stupid to me to say one of my favourites and the others I'm going to talk about are all shit.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a thing. But I think the one that holds, other than the obvious ones, which we'll get to, that holds the most nostalgia for me is Rage Racer.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I've spoken about this briefly on an episode before.
No, that's fine.
Oh my God. I think it's got, when
there's nostalgia in it again.
Oh my God. And it's that 90s sort of like, kind of drum and bass, but it has like chilled out.
Lounge techno vibes.
Yeah. And a bit of D&B.
Yeah.
It's really hard to explain, but you can literally just say it's 90s gaming and you'd be like, gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's the
race
same...
game music.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. And you had technically 10 tracks.
Yeah.
Because one was on 0. And they were all literally either 4:59 or 5 minutes long on the dot.
Oh, okay.
Each one. Couldn't, unfortunately, tell you who they're by because I should have done more research, basically.
Yeah.
But it's obviously the game's by Namco. And I think because I used to play it with my dad since I was a kid, he loves a few of them and I love a few of them as well. And there's one called Silver Stream, which is track 7. And that's really relaxing. I think he loves the title track called Road Racer. They're just really good. And like when I have them on like my iPod and stuff.
Yeah.
And when you put them on when you're driving, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in the game.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, I think it's for me, it's just nostalgia. But I actually do like it anyway.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, when I'm driving, especially when I drive to yours, because it's such a long thing, I can pretty much get through the whole album.
Yeah.
And then the time trial music, it's like, feels good. And it's just like so 90s, it's so good.
Yeah.
Sorry for headphone listeners, that probably sounded fucking awful. This is the thing, because of obviously like licensing and copyright and all that, it's a shame that we can't just insert little clips.
Yeah, we've got to badly sing them instead.
But we could on Twitter actually, when we sort of link this app, we could just link some YouTube links.
I suppose so, yeah.
If people really want to listen.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely link that one, because that was you could only listen to that in time trial mode, and it was like I think that's 1.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
That's cool.
Like even all the sound effects, like when you would win, and obviously the voiceover woman, I used to get really upset when I was younger when she used to tell me how basically shit I was, and then as I've got older, I've now beat my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
come full circle. The student's become a master.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one for me is just
It's up
so
there.
good.
Yeah. I think I can just quickly, like what you said, nostalgia and that you just like them. The whole thing with the Spyro soundtracks as well, and it's something. One of my main things with a lot of like modern soundtracks, I feel like so many things now are quite like atmospheric soundtracks. They don't have a clear melody.
That's literally what I've got in my notes.
Is it?
Yeah, which is weird because you've not seen my notes.
No, I feel like the Spyro, like I found it really impressive because there is so many levels in Spyro 3 that have different theme tunes, that have a, like after you played it, you have a melody you can hum in your head.
Yeah.
And something about songs like that are way more for me than like big orchestral, like slow, just moody tracks, which I get what they're done for, but it's not really for me.
I think now, and again, I don't know whether this is just changing. There's only a few games, and obviously I've not played all of the games. I'm not like Rachel and Friends when she's like, do you want to go see a movie? She's like, nah, I've seen them. I've seen all of them. What, all of the movies? Yeah,
that.
all of them. Yeah. She doesn't want to
amazing.
like see a film with them. She's like, yeah, nah, I've seen them.
Seen them.
Big movie buff, big film girl. I was like, love it. But yeah, to me, they don't. It's more newer ones that just to me aren't as iconic.
Yeah.
Or if you hum a tune to somebody. Like if you do see like Crash, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. Or even the new ones, like, well, I say newer, like Crash 2 and 3, like that thing changed, but you still know what that is.
Yeah. The whole yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I don't
iconic.
feel like that's really there anymore.
Neither.
It's like if people, I mean, we'll definitely talk about this off, but it's like when people are like, oh my God, the new Tomb Raider theme is so good.
And now that has a melody, but it's not as. It's just. I'm
just like push start to get this shit over with.
Fucking shots fired.
Shots fired. I think this is my. Just looked at the audio and that has peaked.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, obviously, again, all opinion based, and if you think mine's wrong, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
If you like it, good for you.
You go ahead.
You go ahead. So, what's your next one?
I don't really know what to talk about because the one I wanted to do this episode to talk about a bit, and I probably won't talk about it for that long, but just because I love it that much, I don't know whether to just talk about another one first. What else have you? How many have you got on your list? I'm just curious.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 6. But again,
how many are similar, like that we will both like?
I don't know. Like definitely 2 or 3.
Yeah, okay.
So I can talk about my random ones if you
want.
want.
If mine are a little bit short, I can just sort of like summarise mine in just a few bits and then come back to my last one.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to bring it up yet again in this series. Guess what it is?
Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, it is.
Yay!
I feel like...
He likes that game, I don't know if you know.
So, the soundtracks.
I love also, just as a little listener note, whenever Jace really likes something, I
put
don't
my
know why,
hands
he
on my
puts his
face.
hands on his cheeks and pulls down.
Pulls my skin down.
He's just so excited he can't even cope.
I like things.
I know, but your wrinkles, darling.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah,
No, I'm
cheers.
joking. You're like a baby, you know. Any wrinkles.
Rude. But yeah, Resident Evil 2 soundtrack. I think you could say, 1 and 3's as well. But I feel like 2's more iconic.
That library one though, I remember putting.
This is the thing.
God.
It's like I feel like.
But in the
almost
remake, though, it's
50%
not
of
really...
the spookiness of the old games
Is in the
comes
music.
from the music because they're just so freaky. Like they'll put like a door slamming in the soundtrack to make you think like, oh, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
But then like the creepy piano that would get played on, I think,
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah,
No!
that kind of music when you're on I think it's the first floor. And then when you get to like the safe room and you got this like nice kind of, still can be kind of creepy, but there's a once you know it's a safe room, when you walk into a safe room and that music plays,
You immediately
you're like,
relax.
You're like,
yeah.
oh my God, I'm away from all the shit for a minute because nothing can get you in there.
Mm-hmm. I am quite grateful that they didn't put that in Resident Evil 2
Well,
remake.
you can play the remake with the classic
see, I didn't know
soundtrack,
that.
and it's so much scarier.
I would have shit myself.
It's so much scarier. I don't know, like, it's amazing that they could do that. But yeah, the library soundtrack's definitely the creepiest, which is weird because nothing really happens in the library in the original.
Maybe that's why. Because maybe they wanted you to
maybe
think
it was,
that there was.
yeah, not to get comfortable sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
It's extremely well lit in there, especially in the remake.
yeah, they kept it that way, and I think a lot of the corridors they like took all the lights out of just to make it that much creepier.
That was the thing. Like, you know, when you go from... So, you know, say if you just come into RPD
Yeah,
and you see the statue in front of you, on the right you have that,
the shutter door,
the shutter. When you go through there, it is pitch black.
and that room is lit up like a Christmas tree in the original.
And I'm like... And then when you come in, and then from there back in, you're like... There must be more light bleeding from this thing because it's so well lit in the main hall.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is not fair.
Yeah, they just make it really, really dark.
But yeah. But I you know, even without all that music, that was still quite atmospheric anyway.
Yeah,
But
well,
mostly through sound effect, I think.
They like, and this is I'm just going to use this word. They injected some of that old music into the remake. So when you hear, if you really listen for it, when you walk into the main hall in the remake, you can hear a tiny little bit of the original main hall theme. It's not as big and it's not as the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when you flick on the light in the
Safe room?
in the dark room where
Oh,
where the first safe room is, yeah, you get like I can't think what the music is, but it's like this slightly redone version. And then with Resi 3's remake, they kept some of the music more faithful to the original.
Right.
Like when you're wandering around the city, there's one soundtrack comes on that's called, I think, City of Ruin, and it's almost exactly the same as the old one. And I think that was quite cool to hear because it was like, oh wow, it's amazing how much the music can just make that game feel more like the original,
Yeah.
even with the game being really quite different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my second choice is the Resi 2 soundtrack. See, I've got it on vinyl, but I'm terrified to kind of listen to it because it might be like, I'm just scared now.
Yeah, because you just be in a room like...
Listening to the
"Fuck."
scary music.
Yeah. Imagine like doing that and then painting your figures. You'd be like, oh, fucking hell.
So stressed.
Yeah, like Miss Barry would come in. Hiya!
Barry, aka Mr. X.
Yeah.
For those who didn't.
For those who weren't on
your
stream,
stream.
Barry... What was it? Barry Sebastian Treverson.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Barry Seb Treverson.
Yeah, with thanks to Matt and Shambingo.
Yeah.
Named Bazza. Because we were like, if we humanise him and we give him a name...
Well, he's walking around in a fedora, isn't he? He's not exactly the most... I don't find him as scary as the zombies.
No, but I think it's more because he just tends to pop up. I think once you... After that initial shock that he's there...
You kind of start to get used to him.
Because you hear the footsteps. I think it helped a lot that I was wearing headphones at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, shall I carry on with my
Yeah.
next one?
Yeah, go for
That's
it.
not like a... We've already talked about it.
Yep.
I want to talk about the other one in a bit more detail, so I think I'll go for my next one.
Okay.
Tekken 3.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've heard a bit of it. I can't
so
really remember
good.
it, but yeah.
Again, it's in that vein of like Rage Racer when it's a bit...
Nostalgia-y.
Yeah, bit rocky, bit like D&B. There's a lot going on.
It's a fighting game, isn't it? It's very, like, fast-paced almost.
Oh, yeah.
And...
But then you've got... You've got like Eddie's theme, and then you've got like so many other ones.
What in
There's like Yoshimitsu's one. Like when you get into their arenas,
Yeah.
they'll all have their own theme.
That
But then
accompanies
like
them.
that... I think for me, the most iconic one is... Okay, so you have two. So there's the actual FMV that plays
Yeah.
and tells you sort of what's gone on with... Because I never played any other Tekken game other than Tekken 3.
Yeah. That's like
So
the
it
most
can't-
famous one, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, but it was the one that, for me, was kind of everywhere at
Yeah.
that one point. So I was like, I need to get Tekken 3. And I loved it. I think I had a demo and then I was like, right, amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. It's not that, it's the demo. So when you see them sort of like fighting or sparring on their own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When they're in their own arenas or dojos or whatever. And that's really cool. But I found out from Daryl on Twitter, because obviously Daryl Baxter, for those who don't know, has his own podcast called Palkeys. You should listen to that. I'll link it in the show notes. And he really loves Tekken 3 as well. And
Yeah.
we have a bit of back and forth with that. And they're actually on Spotify.
Oh, really? That's cool. That they've
Yeah.
been put on there.
So hopefully they're on other like streaming services. I mean, you'll be able to find them on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always get confused with whose is who. They're just all really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like the rocky ones that I like. But then
The high-paced stuff.
Martial Law's one is really good.
Martial Law.
Yeah.
That's a character.
No.
Isn't Law a character?
Or was it Forest Law? Am I thinking just Martial Law because it's martial law?
If you've got
think
that
it's
wrong,
Forest Law.
that is incredible. Oh yeah, martial law.
Oh, martial law. I'm going to type it in actually.
Yeah,
Tekken 3.
Please search this because I'm very curious now. I'm sure there's a character
I'm gonna
called
get
Law.
So wrong. Yeah, it is, but I think it's Forest Law now, not martial law.
Well, is it Forest Law?
Hang on.
It won't even be Forest Law, will it now?
Forest, son of Martial Law. There you go. So
Oh,
his dad's
okay.
called Martial Law. So
Right.
I wasn't totally
You weren't.
wrong.
Yeah, you were in the right avenue.
Yeah. Thank God I didn't really get that all the way wrong though. That would have been embarrassing. Yeah, so actually I was referring to his dad.
Of course you were. Yeah.
Yeah, Forest Law. Gon is the dragon who
Right.
farts.
Oh,
Apparently
yes.
he's a manga of the same name. I didn't know that. Gunjak Horong, who is my fave.
Yeah.
What an absolute stunning hun he is. Jin, Julia Chang, King 2. I didn't know there was a King 1.
King 1, King 2.
Kuma 2. Ling Xiaoyu, love her. Mokujin, who's like the wooden man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, a 2,000-year-old wooden dummy who comes to life as a result of Ogre's awakening and is able to switch between every other character's fighting styles. Oh, yeah, that's really annoying. Panda, Xiaoyu's
yeah.
pet and bodyguard. Didn't know that. Tiger Jackson, a disco man with an afro. By the way, I'm taking all of this off Wikipedia, so...
So take it with a pinch of salt, I suppose.
Yeah. I never unlocked them.
Well, you just weren't good enough, obviously.
Tiger Jackson is a palette swap of Eddie Gordo, first appearing... What does that mean? Palette swap?
That's just a new skin, then. Surely.
Oh!
Just a different.
So that's why
alternate
Eddie has
outfit
two
kind of thing?
outfits then, maybe.
Well, that must be it then.
Oh, Christ knows. Obviously, I'm clearly not very good at this game.
Well, you don't have to necessarily be like
Ogre
know
and
all
true
of it
ogre.
to enjoy it.
Oh, Heihachi, who looks like Sean Connery.
Oh my god, yeah.
Paul Phoenix. Lei Wulong. I love Lei Wulong. Yoshimitsu.
I love there's all these
Ow!
names. And then you got Paul in there.
Paul
What,
Phoenix. What, Paul?
All right, head down. God's sake.
Neela Williams, the baddest bitch going.
Badass bitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
She has that weird leg kick.
I really can't remember. I know me and you like played it on the.
I remember when I was showing you the combos, I was like, oh god, you're not doing any combos. And you looked at them, you were like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to do this?
I can't remember
The
combos.
Flying Lotus, what?
Yeah, I just spammed square,
think
triangle,
everyone does
circle,
that.
X and whatnot and just hoped for the best. And sometimes it paid off. So
I know, yeah.
I can't really complain with that.
But yeah, there's a couple more unlocks, I think. But yeah, Tiger Jackson, I've never heard of him.
No, don't
I want
recognise
to
that
now,
one.
though. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's my other one. So
That's
I love
fair enough.
techno
That's
music.
fair enough. Well, we've still got like a little bit of time, so I'm gonna leave my other one still for a bit.
Okay, do you want me to carry on with one of mine then?
Well, I've got some just
Okay,
others.
okay.
I'm just gonna quickly like
Go
they'll
for
be
it.
quite quick. There's not much to say.
I have one more semi-quick one, and then the other ones are probably really long.
They're just
well, not
out-
really long.
That's
but
fine. Yeah, there's just that. Well, I've got one longer one.
I think they were
but-
so excitable on this one.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
We're just
oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
god, and I don't really have much to say, but I'm like, I like it.
Yeah, I just want to say what I want to say.
Yeah, I kind of these are like honourable mentions, I suppose.
So
So
Watch Mojo, and these are honourable mentions.
you know what I mean. Yeah, the Hitman soundtrack. Now there's
Okay.
now again, normally I wouldn't really like that kind of soundtrack because there's not a lot of the whole melody thing.
Not a
Again,
major theme to it.
Not well. There kind of is on the menu, but
Right.
my main take for me is it's so espionage-y and spy-y. It's just
Oh, yeah, that's always fun.
It's totally like me. Like when you start the Paris
I'm
level.
such a spy.
Well, yeah, it just makes you feel like Bond. It's so
Yeah.
cool. Like when you start the Paris mission and it's like at this big glitzy fashion show.
I think as well
and there's
because
like the brass
she's
coming in and stuff.
announcing it, isn't she? She's giving you your. Is it Diana?
Yeah, she's like, good afternoon.
Aren't you proud of me
47.
that I remembered that?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, she's giving you like your mission brief.
Yeah,
So I suppose in that sense as well, it's like the whole atmosphere of it.
yeah. But then there's always like this little there's just little bits of music, like little cues that come up when you do something that's particularly like Hitman-esque, like, or it's kind of the theme. The music's kind of dynamic, so like as you get more found out, the musical heighten in tension and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that's definitely a good pick. But I think more than anything, the first mission, the Paris soundtrack, because it's set in one of those locations that is very
Fashion-y based, isn't it?
because it's at a fashion show in Paris, and it just is very like and there's like on the top floor you've got the there's like a black market auction going on, so it feels just very much like it would be in any like spy film or something.
Yeah.
So the music that accompanies that is really, really cool.
Nice.
So there's that one, and also just going to quickly mention it's kind of not really the main theme of Assassin's Creed because it's always changed, but the Ezio's Family theme tune from Assassin's Creed is the most like iconic one. Mm-hmm. And even though it's only like Ezio's theme, they started using it kind of as their main theme,
right.
because it was the most noticeable one. So I like how there's lots of different versions of it. So when you get to like Syndicate, which is the one in London, they use that theme tune and then they just dress it all differently for like the time and the place where you are.
Oh, that's fun.
So like the one in Egypt had like its own version of it. The one in
so it's sort of morphed into its own sort of baby, if that makes sense. Like
yeah,
it's
so
its
there's
own
loads of
thing.
different versions of it, and
Yeah.
it's a shame because I don't think it's going to be the main theme, but someone made a fan version of what the Valhalla theme tune might be, and they made this Viking version of it, and it's easily my favourite version, and it's a fan
Oh,
version.
really?
It's so good. Like it's quite fast, and it's just the way it like builds up and everything's really, really good. Like if you just type in Valhalla theme, it's the first result on YouTube. It's got millions of views because I think it was that good.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, I just wanted to give those two a little
Mention.
yeah,
Little shout out.
they've always done something for me. Whenever I've started an Assassin's Creed, I'm like, are they going to use the theme? Because they don't always use it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like the title will flash up, and then the little it's only like just a few keys, and it just will come in and then disappear again, and it's like, oh yes, now I know I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game. But when they get rid of it or they change it, it's like, but you had something so good. Why are you changing it up? You should just run with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a bit choppy, but they seem to be keeping with it more so now. I don't know if it's going to be in Valhalla. I hope it is, because I think it's Jesper Kyd who originally composed that Ezio's Family theme tune. So, and I know he's back for Valhalla. So I don't know if
Oh, okay.
that's actually going to be reused or what. But yeah, so yeah.
Nice. My next one is probably the last one that is not a AAA title.
Okay.
Is AAA what? Let's lock in AAA. Is that just a massive game that's on a console?
Basically, yeah, a flagship like console game. Like what a console be sold with.
Oh yeah, this isn't that. The Sims 1.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that's a flat. I wouldn't have said that's a AAA because it's like I don't think simulation games really would come under that.
So and we've said this on the first series when we were talking about The Sims.
I can get with you on the
have such
Sims 1.
an adoration for that soundtrack. A lot of it was done by Jerry Martin.
Okay.
Especially sort of The Sims 1, like build music. And, well, predominantly the vast majority of it. Mark Russo did a lot of the Sims 1 soundtrack as well, but it was, if my memory serves me, it's mostly Jerry Martin.
Yeah.
And his band, or himself. I think when you have the original Sims music, when you have that sort of like bossa nova.
The plinky plonky piano music.
Ba-doo, ba-doo, doo, doo,
oh, right, yeah.
and all of that.
There's all the humming stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. And like the buy music, and then the build music's my fave because it's so relaxing and it's very chilled out. And some of it's like, a little bit somber, but I think as you're building, it's just very relaxing.
Yeah.
And then obviously as you add the expansion packs, when you had House Party, they added like techno music in.
Yeah.
Which I still listen to now, because some of them you can't really tell. So someone like, if you don't see the album cover, they're probably like, oh, what's this vibey little thing?
Yeah, yeah.
And then obviously they added their own version of disco music, rap, country, and then when you went into Hot Date, they would have, for like when you went on the dates, and their build music would be like all downtown jazz music. Then you went on vacation and you had sort of like steel drummed influences.
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
It was cool because it was kind of like fused. Obviously, it's all in Simlish from what they sing.
Yeah.
But it would fuse sort of.
Yeah, what the thing is about with the music.
Yeah,
style.
so you had like yodeling fused with like steel drums.
Oh, okay.
And but it worked. And I was listening to them at work the other day because that's just what I do. I found this like Sims playlist on Spotify, and I was like, oh, loving it.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, all the way on holiday, or for our American listeners, the Vacation soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's all sort of fused together, and it's just so much fun, and it just makes you want to go away.
Yeah.
And then you have Unleash, which I think there's a lot of sort of New Orleans like decor with that.
Yeah.
So I think you have a lot of that style of music as well, especially with like that style of jazz, which I also love. You go into Superstar, which is like my ultimate fave.
Yeah.
And then you have
really out there.
like Studio Town, which I can only describe as like model music.
Yeah.
Walk the runway, like all that sort of thing. And then you have the Simlish versions of like ballads and pop songs and rock songs. And then obviously Making Magic, but that was sort of the end of the Sims 1 lifespan.
Yeah.
And then that was all just, spooky music or wizardy music, that sort of thing. But I think it's just, and it's so strange, and it kind of goes across the board. I feel like because I didn't really play Sims 3 and 4, I can't really comment on that side of the music, but I feel like even Sims 2, you had these songs, especially with Sims 1 for me personally, I'll still be singing them now like they're in English.
Yeah.
Because you just resonate with them so much. Like there was that song in Sims 2 only on the PlayStation, and it's by the Humble Brothers, it's called Chameleon.
Yeah.
And it's the one that I mean. Oh, wet it down.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love that song. And so does my mum. But yeah, there's just so many great songs in that.
I think the Sims franchise as a whole has lots of good, memorable. I don't know what the word is. Yeah, music. I mostly played 2 and 3, and like that theme, which I think was 2's.
Yeah, and then they used a lot of it
in 3. But then when the expansions came out, they reworked it again and made it for the packs theme, which I loved all that stuff. And then all the similar songs that came out. Like I remember Cooler Than Me. That's the main one I can remember.
Yeah, we spoke about that on the other one.
Yeah, I think we did.
Like
I loved all the
said,
Simlish stuff.
And Katy Perry's done songs like Pussycat Dolls have done for them, and there was so many songs. I mean, there was some that I found out through Simlish, like that Brick and Lace one, Love Is Wicked.
Yeah.
For the Castaway PS2 version, I was like, oh my god, I love this, and I learned it in Simlish because I just couldn't stop. And then it came on like Kiss or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, hang on, that's a Sim song. And then I found out that they got that from them or whatever. So it's cool. Like it introduced you to new bands anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, again, I don't know whether it's just nostalgia, but I'll still listen to some of the Hot Date ones. It's like so good, and it's really sad, but I don't care.
I mean, I still know the lyrics to
like
that.
People are like,
one, so.
It's a guilty pleasure to still play The Sims. I'm like, I genuinely feel no guilt.
No, neither. There's no guilt here.
No, and I'll put them on in the car. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love the disco ones as well.
Yeah.
And I just think of like sitting, I'd come home from school and just literally get on it, and I wouldn't get off the PC until I went to bed.
I played it way too much when I was younger.
Yeah, I did.
I'd be on it for like days.
Weeks.
Yeah, like I need to do something else
Because
now.
I remember saying to you, I was like, oh, I might play The Sims 4, and then I was like, nah, don't do it.
I'll be on it all the time.
But that's the thing, I will. And I know I'm almost 30, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck, darling.
I don't care.
No.
Well, you can like what you like, don't you?
Shake it down now. Sorry.
Beautiful.
I can't remember the other. What was it? There was oh fuck. Okay, we're back from that little break there.
Yeah.
Kent Jolly, I've just found out, did the disco tracks.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're really, really good as well.
Cool.
I just love them.
Yeah. They are really good.
I'm trying to think who. Hang on. I always want to give like credit where credit's due where I can.
Yeah, I'm pretty rubbish
Francois
with
Lafleur
that.
did the dance tracks. Well, some of them. Jerry Martin did vast majority. But I remember like when I had them. Oh yeah, Mark Russo did Vacation. Well, On Holiday and Unleashed.
Yeah.
Then there was mixed of Kurt Casey, Jerry Martin, Mark Russo, Dix Bruce on the others.
Oh, cool.
So, but yeah, it was just amazing, full of nostalgia.
Yeah, that's what those tracks do to you, don't they?
Oh, I know. Yeah, even now I'm just like singing them, like Glade Glan. What a great song off Superstar. They're just all so good.
Great song.
Great song, really great song. So I think if I will lead into the next one.
Well, I've got another.
Oh, okay.
My,
I was going to say I don't know.
One.
I was like, I don't know whether this will be your.
Yeah, this is kind of my last one of my like own ones. I also just want to mention quickly because I completely forgot to say with the Spyro one. Mm-hmm. Stuart Copeland was the composer of 1, 2, and 3, I believe, who is the lead, I think, drummer from The Police.
Really?
Yeah, and he done like because they're all like drum kind of soundtracks. I think he's the drummer. Apologies if I have got that wrong. I think so.
Well, it ain't Sting, so
no. So yeah, that's a cool little fact.
Do you know what I was going to sing then? Hearsay, because in my head that was like a Police song, but then I was like, no, that's Every Step You Take, and I was like, wherever you go, I'm gonna be there.
For God's sake.
Pure and simple.
Oh dear.
I'll get a fucking cease and desist from Kim Marsh.
Yeah.
Suzanne Shaw is not having it, babe.
Stop now. So my last one I want to talk about.
Okay.
Definitely one of my favourite soundtracks ever. The Medal of Honor Frontline soundtrack.
Oh.
The Medal of Honor theme is one of those themes that could just be like, it can be really, really sad, and it can also be really, really happy and be like this big like victorious piece. Because it's composed like a army kind of track.
Yeah.
When you hear it on like a trumpet or something, it sounds like, you know, when you have like the war memorials and just a trumpet's played. Mm-hmm. It could be played over something like that, and it would sound exactly like it fits. I'm gonna butcher his name.
Oh God, here we go. I'll find it. I'll do some ASMR.
Yeah, okay. That can be our minor interval. Just got to turn my phone back on.
Is anyone into ASMR? Hang on, I have a pencil here. There's big books in this, you know.
What?
ASMR. Are you into it or no? We've not tried it.
What?
ASMR.
Well, my like rain sounds are kind of ASMR.
I guess so. I mean, I might just leave this in. But yeah, there's someone I watch at YouTube, ASMR Glow. Oh my God, she's an absolute doll.
Right.
One, she's like, obviously this isn't the be all and end all of life, but I am just saying she's gorgeous, so nice. And I know it's really fucking weird because some people are like, oh my God, this is so weird. And at first I was like, this is fucking weird. But then she does this thing where she like strokes the screen.
Right.
Fucking hell. I'm out in 20 seconds, mate. Like, honestly, the nights when I really struggle to sleep, put a bit of Sharon on. My God.
And you're sorted.
Honestly, and she's like, I'm just here to relax you. I hope you've had a great day. And I'm like, Sharon, I've had a really bitch of a day. Thanks for relaxing me. And then she'll just do like, I don't know, other stuff. But yeah, there's so much on it on YouTube. It's untrue.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or like tapping and stuff like that. I think it's quite a big thing now. But I don't really walk around with a t-shirt on saying, I listen to ASMR.
No.
But yeah, maybe I'm just like a big faker. But it's normally when I'm...
You big faker.
No, a big faker. It's normally when I'm really struggling to sleep. Or I just want to go to sleep quickly.
Yeah.
Because literally, I don't think I've ever watched to the end of one of her videos. So that's not a gaming soundtrack, people. But if you want to try ASMR, you can. So, have you found this person's name yet?
No, I know who he is. I just don't know how to pronounce his name.
Okay, apologise first.
Got it.
Okay, go.
So, right. I knew who it was.
Okay.
So, the composer of the Medal of Honor original soundtrack is Michael Giacchino.
Ah, well done. Giacchino.
I think Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I'm
Pacino.
I'm so sorry if
Like Pacino.
No, I don't think it's. I don't
Okay.
know, but either way, his soundtrack. For
Apologies if it's not correct.
It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, there's. I feel like it's really versatile, and again, it goes back to the whole me really liking melodies because all the soundtracks have like quite a distinct melody in them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, if anything, if you have not listened to the soundtrack before, either listen to the main theme tune for Medal of Honor or listen to Manor House Rally because it is the most awesome soundtrack ever. It's all orchestral pieces, but basically Manor House Rally is it accompanies in Frontline this mission where you have to sneak into this like Nazi occupied mansion in Holland, and you've got to rescue this guy from it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're all sneaky and it's all fine, and then shit kicks off.
So I'm going to squeak.
And this music just kicks in.
Yeah.
That's just like really fast paced, and it just keeps building up, and you're just running around this mansion with a pump action shotgun, and yeah, it's just really really cool.
Nice.
So that's definitely up there. And I also love at the end of.
He's doing the face thing again.
I am doing the face thing again because it's just making me think of it. Right at the end of Frontline, you've got to kill this guy called, I think it's Sturmgeist, who is like this officer basically who you've been trying to track throughout the whole game, and it's at this like airfield, and again the music's all building up and it's coming to this big climax where you're gonna have a fight with him, and you're in this this air base that's about to be bombed by your friends essentially,
right?
And it comes into the final battle and you're in this hangar and the music just kicks in and this huge choir accompanies it, and it's like really really big and dramatic, and then you escape in their like prototype plane that you needed to steal. And as you're escaping, you pull out onto the runway, and like all these things are blowing up around you, and then the theme tune kicks in, and like it's a really fast-paced version of it though, and like a big victory like version.
Yeah.
And it's almost like all the bombs going off are like fireworks, and you take off through all this smoke, and like all the anti-aircraft guns are going off, and it's really, really, really good. Like for a game that came out, God no, I mean I don't know, it was on PS2.
Okay.
It was the first-person shooter I played, but it's easily still my favourite because you start on Omaha Beach during the D-Day landings, but you become a spy essentially,
right?
And you become you basically go into all of the you get sent in alone to all these like factories and stuff, and you have to sabotage and collect evidence. Whereas, so it's not like your typical first-person shooter when you're in like a battlefield. You're usually behind enemy lines so it's a bit more spy. And then the music usually accompanies that. It's all like mysterious and stuff. But then when shit kicks off, it just goes mental. And again, because it's a big orchestral soundtrack, I just love it.
Nice.
So, and yeah, that's on Spotify as well. So
brill.
Yeah, it can be, listened to. And it should be, because honestly, I really hope it won't happen, because the composer, he does a load of the Marvel films now. He's done of the Star Wars films, which I didn't realise it was him until only a few months ago that he did Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
But if they ever did like a, like the Tomb Raider suite, if they did that of the Medal of Honor soundtrack, that would be like one of the, best things ever. I don't think it would happen because I don't think there's that many people.
But we live in hope.
Exactly, yeah. I think I'm so rubbish at describing these songs.
You're not. You're
so
better than
bloody
you are.
good. But yeah, honestly, if you listen to any of those soundtracks from Medal of Honor, listen to Manor House Rally and just sit with it. Wait till it gets to the end because it's just really cool. So yeah, that's the one I really wanted to talk about.
Oh, good. I will just say this very, very quickly though, and I won't go into it because I don't know enough about the actual score.
Yep.
Because I haven't played it in years. But one of my favourite games is Mafia 2.
Okay.
And obviously, as you know, I love anything that's to do with the mob, the mafia, organised crime, just because I think it's so interesting.
Because you're such a villain.
Oh, God, I'm such a villain. But yeah, I just think it's so interesting. But that's, again, we can't go into that because I won't shut up about it. But I think the actual songs that they used in that were really good for the time, because you'd drive around Empire Bay. Pretty sure it's Empire Bay.
Isn't it meant to be like New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've just come home from the war.
Oh, okay.
And you're with your friend Joe.
Yeah.
Fucking love Joe. I can't wait for this remaster.
I know, yeah.
I'm so excited.
I really want to play it.
You'll love it, honestly. And I'm not being like how people say to me, you love it. You will actually love it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to play Mafia, like...
Because it's a remake, isn't it?
Yeah,
the first
I'm so
one
excited.
as well, so...
But yeah, so you go around Empire Bay and it's snowing and it's Christmas and Dean Martin's Let It Snow plays.
Amazing. Favourite one ever.
And you can change stations and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like Peggy Lee, Why Don't You Do Right? I love that song.
Yeah.
And there's so many old songs that you might know, don't know, will know.
Yeah.
All from that era. And I think it just literally ports you into that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so good.
That's
It's
cool.
one of my favourite games, but I think I'm going to save all of that.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about that
for when we do the actual trilogy remaster. So I just wanted to come in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
My next one.
Yes.
I feel like I have way more here, so I'm really sorry that it's just fucking me talking again.
Well, no, because I can chime in on
I
some
feel
of
like
these,
you will agree with the ones that I've left till last, the stuff that either you will chime in on or we will talk about together.
Yeah, fine.
Is Blood and Truth VR.
I mean, that's a bloody stellar soundtrack.
I won't say loads because we are going to be doing a podcast about it.
We are.
But it is one of my favourite gaming soundtracks of all time. And I will say that it's top 5.
That's amazing.
Which I remember, we were supposed to be going to see Jamie Cullum, right? Me and Dad this night, but it got cancelled because of the current situation.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when this goes live, it won't be a situation, but it probably is going to be.
Yeah.
So I was doing some stitching and I finished off a piece, and I was ironing and I put the soundtrack on and I tagged Joe Thwaites, Jim Fowler in the tweet.
Yeah.
And they liked it. I don't know whether they retweeted it, but
That's
I'm just
cool.
like had the main theme on. And just fucking doing my ironing like a crazy person.
Yeah.
With this song on. But the soundtrack for me was one of the standout things
Of that.
Because, again, I won't say too much about the gameplay or anything like that because I know we'll really dissect everything
When we
at
come
the
to
appropriate time. But I feel like the sound design on this game is something that is next level to me. I feel like, and Z Dot was involved, who is a grime artist. Hang on, is he a grime artist or is he a producer? I can't remember. Yeah, so Z Dot is he's based in West London, producer, songwriter, and has done quite a lot with all of that. So he was involved in creating this soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
They recorded at Abbey Road Studios,
Which is awesome.
which is amazing anyway. But I think what I love about this is because if you haven't played the game, it's set in London and it's to do with
Crime.
You play as Ryan Marks, ex-soldier, and he comes home as his father's passed away, and there's a lot to do with the family business in inverted commas. So it's kind of organised. Me again, organised crime. Why?
Yeah.
I'm not a criminal, I promise.
Organised crime.
So as you play through London, it's great because you have these massive orchestral moments, but then there is this grime,
Like beat
undertone. Obviously, then you'll have people rapping over it, and it's so cool to have like a grime track, but then you have these massive orchestral, strings, trumpets, and everything, like all this, different types of instruments on this one song that you could hear in someone's car, or you can hear it on this massive set piece of this game. So there's a lot in that soundtrack. There's not one song that I don't like.
Yeah.
And for me, that's like massive. But I listen to that probably, no lie, at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Just as I'm working or as I'm driving. And I won't say what scene it's in, but there's a really sad scene. And yeah, there's a song there that you just sort of like every time you get chills. And it's just one of the best soundtracks I think I've ever had the pleasure of listening to.
It's definitely one that gets you going. Like
it is
for the
like,
game
it is
that
like
you're playing.
Sort of a Guy Ritchie lock stock.
The brass and the
experience
orchestral
in a
side of
game.
it is very, like, again, I keep going back to the whole, like, spy, but it sounds a bit espionage-y.
Yeah, so you've got that espionage style to it, but then you've got this sort of, like, gritty London, like, beat to it.
Yeah, beat and bass and all that sort of thing that's, like...
It just literally... The soundtrack, and I think a lot of the time, and a lot of them, I would say that they do, but I feel like this soundtrack really encapsulates the game. Yeah. And I think sometimes, say if you took a theme out of a game and you dropped it on another one, it will work.
Yeah.
I feel like this soundtrack, you could chuck this on a film.
Yeah, you definitely.
I don't think you could chuck it on another game, but I think it's so
well done.
got its arms wrapped around this game.
Yeah.
that the only logical step I think would be it could go into a film.
Yeah.
And that's one I would actually enjoy watching if that got made into a film.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because again, like, you don't really see Brian Marks.
No.
Because you are him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably one of my favourite soundtracks of all time.
It's a good choice.
Even with just the main vocal songs. And this is the thing as well, because I fucking love old school garage. So you go into like the boys' den, which has like their armoury and all of this, or just a sofa with a radio on the table. So you turn the radio on, and then there's like Boo, Sticky featuring Miss Dynamite.
Oh,
or
right,
there's like JME
yeah.
on as you're through the tower block. So there's a lot of artists that they have used. Oh, those ones aren't on the soundtrack.
No, but they've put them in there anyway.
But they've put them in there anyway. So you still have like nods to, you know, UKG and all of this.
Yeah.
And it's so, especially as someone who listens to garage quite a lot, probably more, you know, not underground garage or, you know, the lesser known stuff, but like the ones that they've used, I know.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, I'm not claiming like I know everything and I'm a connoisseur in everything.
No.
Like, I'm not going to be one of those dickheads, but I do love garage, and I was like, oh my God. And it just like these little things really was a cherry on the cake for me.
Yeah.
But again, I won't say too much because I'll probably end up going on about the music again in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
fine.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's very good.
So yeah, I think you can pick an obvious one now.
What's that? Well, I mean, I think if we
unless you want to go for the second obvious one.
Fine.
Which, do you want me to say that?
I mean, yeah, go for it. I'll just chime in what you've got left because I've done my bits that I wanted to.
The Last of Us 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
By Gustavo Santaolalla. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
That is from him on a video.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I apologise if I've not said that right.
Yeah.
What I did find interesting though, just before I forget, in The Last of Us 2...
He's in the game?
He's in the game. That's not what I was going to say. Mac Quayle actually helped make the soundtrack in that game, who is the composer for Mr. Robot.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yep. So I saw that name when I started playing it and I was like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. But purely because I really, as much as I don't get it, I love Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Didn't really get the end though, not going to lie. But that, again, we won't talk about that right now. But yeah, it's just... But again, I feel like that's a soundtrack that just encompasses that game.
Yeah.
And that dystopian sort of...
And this is something I'm going to bring up in our Last of Us 2 thing anyway.
Yeah, again, we'll talk about that more in grave detail later.
I feel like 1 is so much better than 2.
Okay.
Soundtrack-wise. And I don't mean this to be like a smite on it. I don't know if it was to do with my like experience playing through the game, but I didn't notice it anywhere near as much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of a bit gutted that you get versions of the original main theme, but you don't get the main theme in it. And it always irks me when they don't use
You did at the end, though, didn't you?
Kind of, but it's like not... It's a slower version of it. And it's like it's not exactly the same. They just play those notes. And I think for me...
Yeah, that's fine.
I always like when franchises just keep with their main soundtrack. It annoys me because it's like... You've got something that people now associate musically with your game. And I understand that Gustavo's style is throughout the whole game anyway. So
absolutely,
you can't like...
For his
can't
style
say
for that format, for that game.
Yeah, you can't say that the Last of Us 2 soundtrack isn't like The Last of Us, because it is. But for me personally... I found like in 1, I don't know why, but for me, it just seemed to come up more in the emotional parts. It seemed to be that much louder. I don't know if that's just me.
Okay, this is what for me I would take away from what you've said. And again, we have very different opinions of the second game, which we will get into. And I'm actually really looking forward to having this discussion with you.
I'm just hoping that I don't just go around in circles and say the same thing over and over again.
I mean, you can. It's our podcast. We can do what the fuck we want.
Yeah, I know. I just worry.
No, don't worry. This is what the edit button is for.
That's true.
So, yeah, I think for me, with hearing your response on that or thoughts on that, also, I think it's fucking raining.
Get out.
I know.
We'll find out in a minute.
It looks like he's going to piss it down, so let's hope.
Yeah, it'll cool us down. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, so I think on the back of what you've just said, I think when you take them, because to me I don't see them as parts, and again we'll talk about this more. I
I'm
really
going to try
think
and
that
stay
they're
a bit sturm with my
same.
fours. So
I think they're two separate games, but again I won't really go into that.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the music today, people.
Yep.
So you saying that it's very different in 1 and 2, I think that's very fair and very obvious and fine to say.
Yeah.
I think for me, going on the back of that, when you're saying it sounds really loud and it sounds this, I think because the games are fueled by 2 different emotions,
Yeah.
I feel like the music's then got to encapsulate that as well.
Yeah.
So when you have... My favourite theme from the first game is the giraffe scene.
Yeah.
Again, spoilers. Spoiler, insert here. So, for anyone who hasn't played it, just play it. That's all I'm going to say.
Get on it.
Just literally play it. But again, we're going to say spoilers. So there's a scene where you have a bit of respite. It's a beautiful scene. Always makes me cry my fucking eyes out. It's when Joel and Ellie stumble across 2 giraffes. Now, in a wasteland that it is, it's like a fucking hell. Oh my god, it's a beautiful scene, really nice moment. And I think it's called Saving Grace.
I'm not sure.
Let me see. I need to be sure. I can hear a rumble. Yeah, sorry, it's called Vanishing Grace, and that is such a lovely theme for me.
Yeah.
And I think it really helps that moment and gives you that moment of rest and reflection of what's going on and what has happened. And obviously at that point Ellie's never seen anything like that before.
No.
And then when you're saying you get these loud crashes and these really almost jarring effects in the newer one.
Yeah.
I think with Mac, when you hear his Mr. Robot stuff, obviously I can't say I've ever listened to everything he's ever done. I haven't, and I can't comment on that. But there's a lot in Mr. Robot that features for the show. It's like very specific for that.
Yeah.
And I think his influence would and it is for me really good in this because it's just a bit different. So I don't know whether they've lifted it because the mood's changed.
Yeah.
And brought in these different kinds of styles with Gustavo's bass and, you know, his influence and all of that stuff.
Yeah. I think I don't like to be like negative, but I feel like sadly.
But I don't think it's like
for
I
me,
know what you're saying. I don't think it's necessarily negative. It's just
I found it quite forgetful.
Right.
Like the only 2 points where I can really remember it standing out and being like, that sounds like The Last of Us, is when, oh Christ, Abby and Lev contact those people inside the basement of that house, and the original theme tune plays, and it does the dun 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 dun, but like a lot slower, and also at the very end, where it plays The Last of Us 2's theme tune, which I don't feel I understand its somber tone. For me, I'm just like. It just makes me miss the old one. That might just be me.
Yeah.
But,
I think because you and I and
yeah,
this is the thing. Like when I was talking to Matt about it, I think I haven't spoken to Chubba enough about it yet because I know they're going to do their own spoiler cast, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, because I think Nor's just started playing.
Yeah, Nor's just started. So I'm looking forward to hearing what the three of them have got to say. Well, I think you and the lads are pretty much in the same mindset. And I feel like
to some degree, me and Matt definitely are.
Yeah, you and Matt definitely are. Like we've had conversations at length about what we think and you know how his opinion differs from mine. But that's the thing. I've enjoyed having these discussions that are respectful, and we're not like you're fucking wrong. Da 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 da. Who gives a shit? It's a game.
Yeah,
it's a game. But yeah, with the music, I don't know whether my opinion's different because I loved it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't really want to say too much right now. But to me, like, I know the theme is the theme, but you know, I can't explain it, but there's like a little flick of a string or something that, to me, I heard in the second one that I knew was in the first one.
Yeah.
Or like certain nuances and tones. Because I understand what you mean in the sense of you didn't hear the theme or you didn't hear X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, to me, the sound, if the sound is the same, then I'm sort of like, wow, it kind of unites that, but that's just me. Yeah, it's like with Crash, I sort of think very different games, obviously, but I know the first theme is different to the second one, but to me they're sort of that like in a similar universe,
Yeah.
it kind of molds that. But I understand and I appreciate your opinion and why that's different to mine.
Yeah, no, this is the problem I have with, again, I won't talk too much now. I wanted to like The Last of Us 2 that much that I'm not going to be like a dick and be like, oh, you're also wrong. Because it's like,
No.
well, yeah, everyone's going to enjoy things their own way. But yeah, for me, I don't know why, but when I finished the game, I was like, the music just, I didn't, unless it's because you're conditioned to it by having played the first game. If you'd played the second one for the first time, maybe you would have noticed the music more.
I think as well, we have, I mean, I'll say this openly now, but I think maybe as well they wanted you to potentially focus more on Troy and Ashley's performances, because they obviously at the end of the first game he says, I'll teach you how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And he does. So you've got them singing a little bit more in that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know where.
There's more of you actually playing the guitar yourself in the game.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
true.
and I feel a lot of this is more. Maybe it's just more sound effects. To be perfectly honest, I was so immersed in the gameplay, I didn't actually notice what was missing and what was in score sense. What was missing, what was there. I my ears pricked up when I knew what I heard, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
But I don't think I was paying too much attention of what was there from the last one, or in terms of score.
Yeah.
Than what was different. But that was just me. I think you and I had very different playthroughs.
But then at the same time, I agree with what
you know?
you're saying, though, because you are that into the game that might be why I just didn't notice it.
Yeah. And that's fine.
So that might be just... But yeah, I think I was just like... Yeah.
I am looking forward to talking about this, though, because I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be interesting for us to have... Because I think with a lot of stuff that you and I have spoken about, we've either been very much on the same page. So I think it would be interesting to sort of have that discussion and not be on it.
Well, yeah.
But have that space where we can all have that discussion and be respectful and listen to each other. Because I think this is the problem. Like, there's so many, especially on like Twitter and places like that, and you know, arenas like that. It's like a fucking minefield.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to be heard and everyone wants to be right. And I'm like, let's just have a space where we can be like, I'm fine with that. I agree with, you know, you can have your opinion, I can have mine, but let's not attack each other.
No.
Because that doesn't achieve anything. And again, it's a game.
Yeah, I think this is a thing. When I don't
But again, we'll talk about that more
when I don't
on
like
that episode.
a game, I am therefore not that passionate about it. Therefore, what have I got to gain from being like really angry?
Yeah, like...
I can just be like, I don't really like it. Here's my reasons why.
You can cash that disc in.
And then I can be really passionate about the things I really do like.
Yeah.
I don't understand just hating.
It's that whole thing of taking the time. And again, I'm not going to lie. I was that person sometimes. Not to the extreme where I was crying and smashing up discs with a hammer. But I would be like, oh, I didn't really like it that much. But sometimes I'm like, you don't... It's that age old. If you haven't got anything nice to say, you ain't got to say it at all. And I know I've said what I've said on our podcast, but I feel like that's our platform where we can do that.
Yeah.
But not in the sense of like, it's shit and I'm going to condemn anyone who likes it.
No, exactly.
Like, what does that achieve? It doesn't achieve anything.
No.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
But I think the last one that we're going to talk about is the most obvious one that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, probably.
So why don't you lead us into that one? Thunder and the thunder.
Dun, dun, dun. Well,
blanket overview. When this goes live, it's probably dead and gone, but we've had a heat wave over the past few days and it's been hot as the devil's ringer.
And there's been storms like rumoured for weeks now, and now we've actually just got one.
Your mum's been checking up the storm checker online for like...
Well, that I showed her, yeah.
Oh, it
she's
was so
addicted
funny.
to it.
She used to love it. She thinks Sean fucking Lloyd.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck's sake.
So we just heard a rumble and we're like, is it?
Is it thunder?
We just want it to clear so we can just sleep
Actually
easier
sleep,
at night.
yeah.
But yeah, bit off topic. So yeah, what's the last
I'm assuming
soundtrack?
it's Tomb Raider.
It's Tomb Raider.
Well, yeah, Tomb Raider. It was no surprise, really.
No surprise. Not if you know us, anyway.
No, Tomb Raider's theme tunes are they just the first music in a game I heard.
Yeah, same. I think the only word you can use is iconic.
Yep, definitely.
In our opinions, anyway.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 really does like resonate with me because that's all we had at the time. I didn't get 4 and 5 till a lot later, and I didn't get 6 until I was like 15. I didn't even know Angel of Darkness really existed till really late.
No. So we have, let's just say this now. So 1, 2, and 3. Well, 1 and 2 were by Nathan McCree, and then 3 was by Nathan McCree and a little bit by Peter Connelly, I believe. Is that correct?
I know he's got like credits on.
Yeah, he's got credits on them.
He had one main theme tune that was meant to come out in. It was meant to be the final boss of Tomb Raider 3. It was going to be Pete's song that gets used in. Is it
Last Revelation?
Yeah, it gets used in the Last Revelation. I can't remember when though. I think it might be I sometimes get used, depending on what version you play. I think it gets used in the the set battle right at the end of Last Revelation.
And then Peter Connelly did 4, 5, and 6
with Martin Iveson to some degree, didn't he as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
So was Martin Iveson on the first 2, or was it just Nathan?
I'm not sure. I really can't remember.
I think as being fans, we would know that inside out.
I know it's awful,
but
not fans.
Not fans. Oh my god, we're phonies. But yeah, I grew up with 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
1,
same.
I think all of 1 is my favourite, and yeah, I love 1, 2, and 3. I think what I do love is the fact that you've got the marriage of both in like some of the themes of 4.
Yeah.
But I really like that you have 1, 2, and 3, and then you have 4, 5, and 6, and they've both, because obviously it's 2 different people, I feel like they've both got such
different ways of approach.
Yeah, so with Pete's, I love that sort of like Egyptian, those tones and all of that.
Yeah, I mean,
style of it, obviously, and they hark back to those games. Don't they?
Angel of Darkness main theme is brilliant, just in the sense that it starts with like what is in the Last Revelation theme tune, and then how it merges into, it's got the classic and then the like bit from Tomb Raider 3, all merged into like this one big like epic song that just builds up, and it's like really. It's proper cool.
Yeah, I think that soundtrack. I remember. Again, we're gonna do each Tomb Raider game anyway, so again we'll try and keep it brief because we're already an hour in at this, but which I didn't think we were gonna be. I thought we'd cap it at like 45. So yeah, sorry about the thunder, people. If it's
coming through, I don't know.
Do you know what? I don't even care. I'm just happy it's here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with Angel of Darkness, obviously I'd pre-ordered it, I'd got everything, and I was so excited, and I actually didn't mind that it was different in a way. And then when you hear like the Dance of the Lux Veritatis and all of that, it's so, I hate this word, but it's so epic.
Yeah. When
you hear that soundtrack, or you hear these little nuances, or the flute coming through, just little bits that, say she jumps down from something and she's just taking in her surroundings in Paris.
Definitely. The mysterious themes that play.
I think throughout it, and this goes from, and again, I'm only talking about 1 to 6. Yeah. Sorry. But those are the ones that sit with me the most. I think, especially with like what the first one, Tomb Raider 96, I feel like that music really gives you that sense of isolation. Like you definitely feel, like you just hear that flute or that oboe at the start, and you're like, I'm on my own, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think the like sense of like isolation that some of the songs give you, or like discovery when you go into like a new room and there's this like curious theme tune. It's like,
I think because you didn't have a lot then, you just had radio silence and just Lara and you know, a waterfall or a
or just
leaping
some
wolf.
And the atmospheric soundtracks that accompany them, they're like the cave soundtrack that always came on.
And then when you have some sort of little noise, you're like, fuck, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
like it scared me, and it still does now, because obviously I am a massive fan, but I'm a fucking liar in terms of how much I've played, because I just go back to being that young and getting terrified by them.
Well, I think this is my thing, is like 2 and 3 soundtracks always resonate with me the most, more so than 1, because even though I played 1, I definitely played 1 first, but I think I was too young to really like get to any points with music other than the main theme.
I feel like 2, everyone played 2.
I feel like 2, out of the original trilogy, it seems to be like, generally seems to be everyone's favourite out of the 3.
We had 2 games at school on PC. We had Tomb Raider 2 and Red Alert Command and Conqueror.
Oh, wow.
And everyone played Tomb Raider 2 on Wet Break.
That's cool. That is proper awesome.
Just remember like playing Bartoli's Hideout and everyone just having a nightmare with it. Like a load of like
But it's
7-year-olds.
The musical spikes in 2 and 3 when like something would come around the corner, or like you'd just be wandering down a corridor and it'd be like dun 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 dun, and this big spike wall would be coming towards you.
Or like
you're
boulder,
oh
you're like fuck.
And you just freeze up.
Yeah.
So there would always be like those things, and I think Tomb Raider 3's theme tune's always going to be my favourite one, just because I love like the drums and the bit like it's got the original theme tune in there. And then, like when the drums kick in and the do 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 bit, I just like I can't get enough nostalgia in that soundtrack.
No, I know.
Love it so much.
It's just full of it, and like obviously when you hear as soon as you get in to that speedboat in the second one, oh the rain.
Okay, well, okay. I don't know if that'll be picked up either, but yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
if it
is, we're just so joyful that it's raining because it's been so fucking hot. Rain on me. It's been so hot. Is that hail though?
It might be hail. No, it's just massive rain.
Massive bits of rain.
But yeah.
Yeah, like Venice violins, everybody knows.
That's so iconic.
Yeah,
because it's like
everyone
this
knows
big
that.
classical. That sounds like it's been written like hundreds of years ago.
I know,
and
that's just every time I hear that, I love it, and then it builds that massive crescendo, and it's just it's amazing.
I always try and time it so that when the that bit comes on, I always try and time it so that when I go up the ramp and smash through the window, that like comes on as soon as you go through there.
That is fun.
So it just makes it like really like actiony and big, like filmic and whatnot.
I think
really
I love
like
as well because I think Chronicles sometimes is either a bit Marmitey, like you either love it or you hate it. It's a bit of a forgotten one.
Yeah.
But I love when Pete did. Obviously, again, I haven't played the whole thing. I'm in the island levels, which I stopped because it scared me.
Oh, there's one track in the island levels. It's like really, it sounds like a music box.
I know, it's awful.
Around the windmill, and it's like, oh my god, this
which
is
is great. That's what I mean. It's like so atmospheric.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm not
really,
slagging
really
you
good.
off, Pete.
Yeah,
I love you.
Yeah, so good.
But yeah, it's just crazy. And then if you go in like demo mode, just to watch them sometimes, and you have
is it the Red Alert theme on Chronicles? Yeah.
And it's so sort of like again, you've got that espionage vibe to it, and it's just. Yeah, I think there's a lot of it that is good for those separate sections.
Yeah. I think, I've got to mention as well, something spooky in that jungle.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, all the sitars and all that sort of thing in that one is so, so cool.
But again, I love that when they were getting to certain places that you would have these themes.
Themes that would kind of suit the location. It's like Geordie Bob's theme when that comes on, and it almost sounds to me like it's trickling water.
Yeah.
It's just like weirdly I associate that soundtrack with water, and it's like when you've been in the sewers and like the underground of London, that really suits where you've been.
Yeah, and then you've got they call it Stone the Crows when you have these little things.
That's one of like the music spikes, I think.
Yeah, the spikes, or there be butterflies here.
Yeah,
and all of those. I just think maybe it's just because oh my god, it's literally pissing it down.
It's mental now.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to get a good night's sleep. I don't know if it's pick it up. Kind of hope so in a way. Yeah, so I don't know whether it's because it's such a love of the franchise, but I can't fault 1 to 6 soundtracks.
No, I think they're all great, to be honest.
I mean, the Skidoo, fuck me, amazing.
I've got to say, and I think it might be an unpopular opinion, but I really prefer the remake of
Do
Skidoo.
you?
Yeah, because
I don't.
There's so much more bass in the new one.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's more orchestral and less like techno and dancey, when you listen to it in my car with the bass
but
on...
then, it's like you said,
yeah.
I always listen to them and view them as two sort of... I know they're the same, but they're separate
things.
tracks.
Yeah, that's one where I will always pick that one over the other. Also, Something Spooky in That Jungle, I would say, is a better recording of the original. Because I feel like it's so faithful to the original.
The Suite was... those re-recordings are amazing, just like the Dark Angel ones.
Yeah.
And it's so nice that you have...
They were
the
both
differences.
successful.
Yeah.
And we both got them, which I didn't think would ever happen.
both versions of Jeep Thrills, I love them, and I just want to drive really, really fast.
Yeah. Jeep Thrills
yeah.
on my like vinyl player coming through those speakers.
So good.
Is so cool.
So good. But yeah, that's the thing. I feel like there's such love for, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And, there's people that prefer this, there's people that prefer that. But I think, or both sort of eras of the soundtracks. But I think it's nice because I think everyone has their Lara that they love.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of encapsulates that. But for me, it's always been that era.
Yeah.
of 1 to 6. I mean, obviously my favourite is the first ever one.
Yeah.
For many reasons,
It's like
which I won't go into.
mine's definitely the third.
But yeah, it's so nice to have that sort of natural split, but it still has that originality to it. It still has Lara's theme, and I think even though Lara is how she is, there's something in each piece of that music through 1 to 6 that has this sort of like threaded femininity in, and a threaded vulnerability to it.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
even though Lara is how she is and she's quite cold and cut off and callous,
Yeah.
I think for me the vulnerability is in that music.
Yeah.
So, you know, when Angel of Darkness and she wakes up on that tram that she's had to like sleep on, I think she would never say, but it's almost like these undertones in the themes. It's like you do feel a bit bad for her, even though she probably doesn't want you to.
Yeah.
And again, I know she's not real and all of this, and this is just my hearsay, but I think you definitely have that vulnerability to her. And then obviously in the newer tracks from the suite, sort of In the Blood and all of that,
brilliant.
it's stunning.
Yeah, that's... As far as a new track goes, it sounds like it could have just been in the original.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think Nathan's done major to like write
to
songs
hark back.
And like the extensions even of the original songs as well. Like that they...
And obviously like Pete's reimaginings of some of them as well.
Yeah.
There's like different melodies and just different, like obviously
layered
it's like even with Jeep Thrills, which is like that dance track, if you will.
Yeah, it's got like that little new bit in the middle where it goes all like a bit of little techno and stuff. That's cool.
And that's really cool to sort of see that difference, because it's nice because you still have those originals that you love and that you know.
Yeah.
But then you also, at the same breath,
I've got this new version.
have got the new versions that you can sort of obsess over and love at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a shame because I always think of, you know, Murty's the sort of the AOD universe and what would have happened within that trilogy of games.
Yeah.
And I always think, oh God, imagine what Pete could have done and Martin could have done with that those soundtracks.
Yeah. Where it could have gone.
Yeah, especially where the story would have gone, because obviously we would have travelled to other places with Curtis and Lara.
Yeah.
And say they would have gone to Turkey and found out more about...
Well, I think Germany and Turkey were meant to be in the actual Angel of Darkness, and then the game was going to go from there. So
yeah, it would have been really interesting to sort of see where the music would have gone.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just a shame. I mean, you don't know. Hopefully, at one point, Pete might be like, you know, let's
write some more music.
No pressure, Pete,
yeah.
You know.
Do more,
please. I mean, I think he knows that anyway.
Yeah,
We're always like saying
definitely.
how, you know, we're very appreciative and we love him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just nice to see that sort of come through. And then obviously you had bits in the newer one in terms of like anniversary and stuff, but I don't know.
I did like what Trolls did with the Lao trilogy.
And the Lao.
I think that's what it's being called now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like Kazakhstan Chase and
I like the Legend
all of
main
that.
theme.
Yeah, the Legend main theme.
And
was
I
nice.
like the reworked bits in Anniversary, to be honest. I love the Egypt main theme in Anniversary.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. And that's a completely new piece.
Oh, I forgot to say, one of my favourite tracks.
Vertigo?
I mean, yeah, obviously, but I think we've said that before.
Yeah.
Fucking...
That one.
Le Serpent Rouge.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Jump, bow, 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 bow. Oh,
and then
my
it goes
God.
like trancey in the middle.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like 7-8 minutes of just goodness. And then obviously Surrounded by Green is like... That was originally out, and I think they remastered that one.
Something like that,
one.
yeah.
But yeah, that just makes me want to get up and dance.
Yeah.
But I thought that was so cool to put in there.
Yeah.
And different, because you sort of threw that switch or put that whatever it was in, I can't remember, behind the DJ booth, and you just don't expect it.
No.
And then I think when I found out that Pete had done it himself, I was like, that's just great. Because I think when you think of it, okay, you'd be like, okay, well, Pete's doing the score.
Yeah.
Or say Nathan's doing the score with like the Tomb Raider one, and then when they have to do these dance tracks, you just
think it'd be something
automatically think
separate.
like, okay, they've given the person this main theme. Obviously, that's not in the in the Serpent Rouge one though.
Yeah.
But you think, oh, it's like this external thing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think of how much they were involved in back in the day.
Yeah.
And then now you have such a team of people and such a variety of people to do one soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much they sort of did with very little bodies, if not just them. So, yeah, those are my top ones, obviously.
Yeah. We've gone on for ages with this. I
know,
didn't
we
expect...
have had a few interval breaks though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What with bloody Weather Watch with Michael Fish over here.
Yeah.
And your dad coming in with the bikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, do you know what? I feel like I'm just sat here watching the rain and it feels like a mirage.
What, the rain? You're out in the desert and you can't see anything.
I know, I feel like it's been that long since we've had it. I'm just like, oh God, bring it on.
Tell me about it.
So yeah, I think we've rambled on quite a long time for that. I
Yeah,
didn't really think we would.
No, no.
I know I have mentioned other themes, but I think I've left them on the podcasts previous, so I'm not going to ramble on about them again.
Yeah.
And I don't think my voice will let me do any more.
No.
So thanks for listening, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. We will see you soon.
We will. Take care. Bye.